everyone, it's Miss Isabella. I am here from A Time for Kids. This is our full STEAM Ahead program, so we practice science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. Today we are going to become scientists with a science experiment called the lava lamp. Some of you guys may have seen a lava lamp before, but today we are going to create one. We are going to become scientists today, but we are also going to be focusing on engineering. So what we're going to do is we're going to create the science experiment using a jar or an empty plastic water bottle, 1 cup of oil, we need a 4th cup of vinegar, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, and some food coloring. Also, it's optional if you want to add in glitter or Alka-Seltzer tabs to make your lava lamp even more explosive. So you guys can get those materials out, and we are going to first sing hello. We're going to wave our hands. We're going to say hi to our friends. After our lava lamp, we're going to be reading a story called Rosie Revere, the Engineer. So we're going to be focusing on engineering. Does anyone know what engineering is? What's an engineer? Well, an engineer is someone who creates different inventions based on science, based on math, based on their world around them. And when we create this lava lamp today, we're going to be talking about how it was first created and invented. And it was invented based on just a normal person watching and observing the world around them. They created the lava lamp. So we're going to make this creation today. We're going to become scientists. But first, let's warm up with each other. Let's wave our hands like this. Can you guys shake those hands out? Shake, shake, shake. And let's wave our hands up high in the sky like this. Shake it all out. Let's shake our hands down low to the floor. And shake them as fast as you can go. All right, guys, and freeze. Let's find our head. Tap on your head. Tap, tap, tap. Let's tap on our bellies. Give it some tickles. Let's tap on our shoulders. Find your knees. Find your chin. And last one, let's find our ears. All right, boys and girls, let's take our ears, turn them on, get ready for our hello song where we're going to sing hello to each other. Here we go. All right, you guys know it. Let's wave those hands like this. Here we go.
It's time to say hello.
Get ready, say hi to a friend, a grown-up.
Hello, nice to see you, everyone. Hello, nice to see you, everyone.
Here we go.
Hello to you, hello to you, hello to you, hello to me. Hello, nice to see you, everyone.
All right, we're going to keep on waving those hands like this. Sing along with me, everyone.
Hello, nice to see you, everyone. Hello, nice to see you, everyone.
Here we go.
Hello to you, hello to you, hello to you, hello to me. Hello, nice to see you, everyone.
Good job. This time we're going to sing hello in our whisper voices. A little bit quieter, okay?
Hello, nice to see you, everyone.
A little quieter.
Hello, nice to see you, everyone. Hello to you, hello to you, hello to you, hello to me. Hello, nice to see you, everyone.
All right, let's get a little bit louder now. Here we go. Wave those hands like this.
Hello, nice to see you, everyone. Hello, nice to see you, everyone. Hello to you, hello to you, hello to you, hello to me. Hello, nice to see you, everyone.
One more time.
Hello to you, hello to you, hello to you, hello to me. Hello, nice to see you, everyone. Hello!
All right, now that we have said hello to each other, give yourselves a big round of applause. We warmed up, we got those muscles moving. We are going to be singing and dancing now to a song called The Floor is Lava. So what do you guys think that means? Well, if the floor is lava, we definitely don't want to be standing on it. So what we're going to do is you guys can grab either a blanket, a mat, a pillow, something that you can stand on so that when the floor becomes lava, we're not touching the floor. So I have my mat over here. I'm going to place my mat down on the ground, and I'm going to stand on it every time that my song says the floor is lava. So I have it right here. I'm going to step on it every time the floor is lava, and then we're going to dance around and go through all the different movements. So when the floor is not lava, I don't have to be on my mat. I can just dance around, go through all the different movements, and once the floor turns lava, the floor is gonna be hot. We're gonna jump onto our mat and we're gonna stay on it until it's safe, okay? All right, so this is a fun song we can sing and dance to before we make our lava lamps. Let's do it. Here we go.
Come on,
Get ready, everyone. Here we go.
Let's play the floor is lava game.
All right, let's clap those hands. Let's
I
dance
love
around.
dancing. I love dancing. Dancing to the
You could
beat.
dance around your pillow, dance around your
I
mat.
love dancing. I love dancing. Get ready. Follow me.
Here we go.
Get on
Oh,
the floor.
get off the
quick.
floor.
Get off
Jump
the
on your
floor
mat.
fast.
Let's listen.
Here it comes.
Oh no, the floor.
Lava all over the floor. Lava, lava coming under the door.
Stand on your mat. Stay safe on here.
I can't dance. The floor is lava. The floor is lava. And now it's gone.
Oh, it's gone. Here we go.
I love twisting.
All right, this time we're gonna twist.
I love
Let's twist
twisting.
around our mat.
Twisting to the beat.
Twist, twist, twist.
I love twisting. I love twisting. Get ready. Follow me.
Here we go. Let's listen.
Get on the
Get off the
floor.
floor.
Quick. Get
Onto
on
your
the
mat.
floor fast.
Let's listen.
Here it comes.
Oh no, the floor is lava.
Lava all over the floor. Lava, lava coming under the door. Lava,
Lava, stay on your mat.
I can't
It's safe out
dance.
there.
The
Let's
floor
listen.
is lava. The floor is lava. And now it's gone.
It's gone. Let's get off.
I love shaking.
All right,
I
this
love
time
shaking.
we're gonna shake everything.
Shaking
Shake your
to
arms,
the
shake your
beat.
feet. Here we go. Shake,
I
shake,
love
shake.
shaking. I
Shake,
love
shake, shake, shake
shaking.
everything.
Get ready.
Oh,
Follow
let's listen.
me.
Oh no, it's coming again.
Get off
the floor.
Quick. Get off
Onto
the
your
floor
mat.
fast.
Here we go.
Here it
ready?
comes. Lava, lava all over the floor. Lava, lava coming under the door. Lava, lava. I
All
can't
right, the lava's
dance.
still there. Stay on your mat.
Lava.
Listen.
The floor is lava.
Is it
And
gone?
now it's gone.
It's gone. Let's get off.
I love grooving.
This time we're gonna
I
groove. So
love
this is dancing. I want to see your best
Dancing
dance
to
moves.
the
Here we go.
beat.
Dance around your mat.
I love
Your best
grooving.
dance moves.
I love moving. Get
Keep
ready.
on dancing, everyone.
Follow me.
Oh no, you guys know it's coming.
Get off
the floor.
Quick. Get
Onto
off
your
the
mat.
floor fast.
Oh, stay
Here
here.
it comes.
It's coming.
Lava, lava all over the floor. Lava, lava coming under the door. Lava, lava.
Stay on your mat. It's safe on here.
The
Let's
floor
listen.
is lava. The floor is lava.
Is it safe?
And now it's gone.
It's gone. Let's get off.
Wow.
We
That
did
was
it.
fun.
Great job, everybody. We did it. We survived the lava on the floor. Thank you guys for singing and dancing with me. That was a fun song. We are now going to get right into our science experiment. So let's make our lava lamps together. So let's grab those materials out. Again, what you guys need is 1 jar or an empty plastic water bottle, 1 cup of oil, a 1/4 cup of vinegar, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of water, food coloring, and then an Alka-Seltzer tip and glitter are optional. So if you want to include it, you can. But if not, it'll still work the same, okay? All right, let's do it. Let's grab those materials out. I'm going to take my mat away. All right, I'm bringing over my table. All right, I'm bringing over my materials. And oh, look at that. It transformed me into a scientist. My scientist gear is on, so I'm ready to go. All right, we're gonna bring over our materials. I'm using baby oil, but you can also use vegetable oil or any other kind of oil that you guys have in the house. We are also going to need our empty plastic water bottle or a jar. I'm using a water bottle since it has a cap on it because the cool thing about this experiment is that you can actually store it and keep it for later. So I have a cap on here so I can put it away on the shelf and I can use it at another time. So I'm going to put this down here. Okay, I have my vinegar, my baking soda, Alka-Seltzer tabs, which are optional, and food coloring, any color of your choice. I'm going to use green so that I can make a green lava lamp. You can also include more than one color. Okay. All right, so the very first thing that I want to do is I want to pour 1 cup of oil into my bottle. So I'm going to open it up and I'm going to measure a cup of oil. Do you guys remember the very first step to being a good scientist? We want to plan, right? We want to plan first and get our materials ready. So we planned them, we got them ready, and now we want to measure. So make sure you have your measuring cup. I have 1 cup of oil, but I also wanted to point out that if you had a larger bottle or a larger jar, then I would use a greater amount of oil. Maybe use 2 cups of oil or 1.5 cups, depending on how big your bottle is. And this also goes along with engineering and making inventions. You want to have trial and errors. So what that means is if something doesn't work, then you can add to it, you can change it. Failing is okay. That's a part of these science experiments, and we're also going to learn that in the book that we read today. So if it doesn't work the first time, you can always add to the experiment. So I'm going to start with 1 cup of oil, and I'm going to pour it right into my water bottle. Okay, so if you have a water bottle, you'll see that it's a little below halfway up, okay? So make sure you guys do that on your water bottle or your jar. After that, I'm going to measure 1/4 cup of vinegar. I'm going to use my measuring cup, 1/4 cup. You guys see the line right here, 1/4. So I'm going to pour that into my water bottle. Okay. After that, I'm going to add some water. So I have water in my jar, well, in my bowl right here, and I'm going to put it into my water bottle. So I'm going to start with 1 teaspoon of water. I'm going to measure 1 teaspoon. I'm going to pour it right into my water bottle. Okay. After that, I'm going to add some food coloring. And I'm using green. So I'm going to pour a few drops of food coloring into my water bottle. All right, I think I counted 10 drops there. And another part of being a good scientist is to make observations. So let's use our eyes, let's look at this experiment, and let's make some observations. What do you guys see so far? Is the food coloring, is it mixing all throughout my water bottle, or is it kind of staying in one place? It's kind of staying in one place, right? You see it only at the bottom. You do see some little bubbles floating right here of my food coloring. That's interesting. Based on what you know about lava lamps, I wonder what's going to happen when we add our baking soda. So let's see. If you have some glitter, you can add the glitter in. Again, this is optional. I'm going to add in a little bit of glitter into this experiment. And I'm going to make a quick funnel. So I'm going to take a piece of paper. I'm going to bend it to 1/4. So find the corner, bend it to that corner, just like an ice cream cone. You see, it looks like an ice cream cone. I'm going to bend that flap over, turn it around, bend that flap over. After that, I just put some tape on it. I'm going to add my tape. Okay, so I'm going to put some tape right around it. And then we want a hole at the bottom, and you guys see, we already have a hole, but if you don't have one, if you taped it too tight, you could just use some scissors and cut a little bit off the end. So I'm going to put this in my water bottle like this, so that I can add glitter directly in my funnel, and it'll go straight into my water bottle. Oh, and there it is. All right. So now we have set up all of our materials. The last thing we want to add is 1 teaspoon of baking soda. So let's observe again. Let's take a look. Where's the glitter heading to? Is it jumping out of my water bottle? No. Oh, that was a big one. Do you guys see how it's all sinking to the bottom? So now at the bottom we have colors and we have glitter. And you'll see that my glitter is actually sitting on top of the color. Now for a lava lamps usually go up and go down, right? So how are we going to create that? If everything's sitting on the bottom of my water bottle, what do you think the baking soda is going to do? Right, so I'm going to measure 1 teaspoon of baking soda. Then I'm going to take my funnel and I'm going to pour it right inside. All right, and this is where you guys want to make some predictions, what you think is going to happen, tell a grown-up, tell your sibling, and then let's do it. Here we go. All right, my baking soda is making its way to the bottom. All right, and now let's take a look. What is happening? Do you notice anything so far? Let's take a look. Whoa. What's going on here? Do you guys see the bubbles rising? And oh, they're making its way back down to the bottom. Wow. Do you see the glitter in there too? The glitter is no longer sitting at the bottom of my bottle. What's it doing? It's kind of floating throughout my bottle like a lava lamp. Do you guys hear it making any noise? I do. I hear some fizzing. How cool is that? So after you guys get to this part, if you want to add some more colors, you can also do that. That's the cool thing about this experiment. So I'm going to add some different colors inside of it. I'm going to put some yellow. I have my yellow food coloring right here, and I'm going to add some drops of yellow in there. Let's watch what happens. Whoa. Do you guys see the different bubbles rising? Look at that. And we have yellow food coloring here, but it looks red in my bottle, and you'll see that it's staying in the bubble form. If you see my red little bubbles floating in there, it's not mixing, so it's not turning that yellow, just like how in this bottle right here, it's not mixing with anything yet. So we have some red dots, some red bubbles floating throughout this lava lamp. And if you notice, what's also happening? Not only do we have bubbles, look at these streams of colors. We have one here, we have one there, another one there. Do you see the different streams of colors all around my bottle? And they're forming on this side. So soon, all the way around my bottle, we'll have these streams of colors with little bubbles floating throughout them. Now, the reason I also said that we can add in Alka-Seltzer was because it makes this lava lamp a little more explosive and it makes it go a little bit faster. So if you guys take an Alka-Seltzer tab, and you don't have to take the entire one, you can start with half, break pieces apart. So I have 2 little pieces right here. I'm going to add them in, and I want you guys to watch what happens. So here we go. Let's place it inside. And let's place our other one in. All right, let's watch what happens. Here we go. Whoa. Is it moving a little bit faster now? It is, right? And it has this nice relaxing fizzing noise. A lot of people like to keep lava lamps by their bedside. It's relaxing, it's calming, it's nice to look at, even to calm your children down. This is a nice experiment to do with them. And once it's done fizzing, because it's not going to keep fizzing, once the baking soda has already mixed with the vinegar and our Alka-Seltzer tab has dissolved, then it's going to stop fizzing and everything's going to go back to where it was. So the colors are going to go to the bottom, the glitter is also going to sink down, and you're going to see the clear oil again. So after that, all you need to do is add some more baking soda or another Alka-Seltzer tab, and then you'll see it do this again. So that's why this is a cool experiment that you can take, you can close and store on your shelf. So I want to talk about the science behind this. Why do you think that the Alka-Seltzer tab created all of the fizzing in my water bottle? Well, what happened was when my Alka-Seltzer and first my baking soda, because we use the Alka-Seltzer tab after, when it mixed with my vinegar, it created carbon dioxide gas. So the drops of vinegar was falling down through the oil to the bottom of the bottle. And then it mixed with the baking soda, and once that gas was created, the bubbles attached itself to the colored vinegar. That's why we had the food coloring in there, and the bubbles actually attached itself to the colors, and it created colored bubbles. So I don't know if you guys realized, but when we first mixed in that oil and that vinegar, there were bubbles that first formed, and they were clear because there was no food coloring in there yet. So once the bubbles attached themselves, it floated to the surface, all the way up to the top, and then it popped, and then the color sinked down to the bottom. And that's the same thing that's happening in these streams here. It's going up to the top, and then the bubbles are popping, and it's creating this stream of color back down through my lava lamp. So there's my science experiment. All right, give yourselves a big round of applause. You guys did an awesome job. Thank you for becoming scientists with me. We are going to read a story now, and it is called Rosie Revere, the Engineer. So I'm going to take my materials, I'm going to put them to the side, and after we read our story, maybe we could take a look at this and see if anything has made itself back to the original form. Okay? So let's bring over our chair. All right, and let's read this story together. And again, you guys can watch your lava lamps, make some more observations about lava lamps as we read my story. Okay, so we talked about engineers, and they make different inventions based on the world around them. Do you guys know what inventions are? Well, inventions are different things that are created in the world. Even think about an airplane. How do you guys think an airplane was invented and made? Well, what engineers and scientists did was they looked at different things around the world that could help them in their environment. So one of the things they looked at was a bird. Why do you think a bird helped create an airplane? Well, if you think about the wings on an airplane, don't the wings on an airplane kind of look like the wings on a bird? Yeah, right? That's not a coincidence. They did that on purpose. They saw that birds can fly. So if they form the airplane wings just like a bird, maybe it'll help an airplane fly. And it did, right? So we're going to be reading more about engineers and inventions. All right, let's learn from Rosie Revere. This is the story of Rosie Revere, who dreamed of becoming a great engineer. In Lila Greer's classroom at Blue River Creek, young Rosie sat shyly, not daring to speak. I wonder why she didn't speak. Oh, there she is. But when no one saw her, she peeked into the trash for treasures to add to her engineer stash. And late at night, Rosie rolled up her sleeves, and she built in her hideaway under the eaves. Do you guys see how she's using different things from the world around her to help her build something? Let's see what she's going to build. Whoa, look at this. Alone in her attic, the moon high above, dear Rosie made gadgets and gizmos she loved. And when she grew sleepy, she hid her machines far under the bed where they'd never be seen. I wonder why she doesn't want to share her inventions. When Rosie was young, she had not been so shy. She worked with her hair swooping over one eye and made fine inventions for uncles and aunts, a hot dog dispenser and helium pants. Whoa, she made helium pants. She made a hot dog dispenser. Those are pretty cool to me. Do you guys think those are cool? The uncle she loved most was zookeeper Fred. She made him a hat to keep snakes off his head. From parts of a fan and some cheddar cheese spray, which everyone knows keeps the pythons away. That was her invention. She gave it to her Uncle Fred. And when it was finished, young Rosie was proud. But Fred slapped his knees and he chuckled out loud. He laughed till he wheezed and his eyes filled with tears, all to the horror of Rosie Revere, who stood there embarrassed, perplexed, and dismayed. She looked at the cheese hat and then looked away. "I love it," Fred hooted. "Oh, I truly do." But Rosie Revere knew that could not be true. Does it look like he loved it, or does he look like he's making fun of it? She stuck the cheese hat on the back of her shelf, and after that day, she kept all of her dreams to herself. And that's how it went until one autumn day. Her oldest relation showed up for a stay. Her great-great-aunt Rose was a true dynamo who worked building airplanes a long time ago. And goals she had checked off her list one by one. She gave a sad smile as she looked to the sky. "The only thrill I had left on my list is to fly. But the time never lingers as long as it seems. I'll chalk that one up to an old lady's dream." So her great aunt said to her that the only thing she ever wanted to do was to fly. But she said, "I guess I'll just leave it as a dream that I never did." That night, Rosie laid wide-eyed in bed. A daring idea crept into her head. Could she build a gizmo to help her aunt fly? She looked at the cheese hat and said, "No, not I." But questions are tricky and some hold on tight, and this one kept Rosie awake through the night. So when dawn approached and red streaks lit the sky, young Rosie knew just how to make her aunt fly. She worked and she worked till the day was half gone, then hauled her cheese copter out onto the lawn to give her invention a test just to see the ridiculous flop it might turn out to be. Is that okay if it doesn't work out? Yeah, right? Oh, here we go. Strapped into the cockpit, she flipped on the switch. The Hello Cheese copter spluttered and twitched. It floated a moment and whirled round and round. Oh, it's working. Then froze for a heartbeat and crashed to the ground. Then Rosie heard laughter and turned around to see the old woman laughing and slapping her knees. She laughed till she wheezed and her eyes filled with tears, all to the horror of Rosie Revere, who thought, "Oh no, never, not ever again. Will I try to build something to sputter or spin, or build with a lever or a switch or a gear, and never will I be a great engineer." That's what Rosie said to herself. She turned round to leave, but then great-great-aunt Rose grabbed hold of young Rosie and pulled her in close and hugged her and kissed her and started to cry. "You did it! Hooray! It's the perfect first try. This great flop is over. It's time for the next." But young Rosie was baffled, embarrassed, perplexed. I failed," said dear Rosie. "It's just made of trash. Didn't you see it? The cheese copter crashed." "Yes," said her great aunt, "it crashed, that is true. But first it did just what it needed to do. Before it crashed, Rosie? Before that, it flew. Your brilliant first flop was a raging success. Come on, let's get busy on to the next. She handed a notebook to Rosie Revere, who smiled at her aunt as it all became clear. Life might have its failures, but this is not what it was. The only thing true, that failure can only come if you quit. Isn't that true? You can only fail if you quit. If you fail and you try again, then it might be a success. They worked till the sun sneaked away into its bed. Aunt Rosie tied her headscarf around Rosie's head and sent her to sleep with a smile ear to ear, to dream the bold dreams of a great engineer. At Blue River Creek, all the kids in grade 2 built gizmos and gadgets and doohickeys too. With each perfect failure, they stand and cheer, but none quite as proudly as Rosie Revere. It's the end. All right, give yourself a big round of applause. Thank you guys for reading that story with me. All right, we are going to sing and dance to our last song, and that is Skidamarink. We always end our library programs with this song, but one of the things I wanted to take a look at first was our lava lamp. And you guys can see, didn't it all go back to where it was? So the color, it's settled to the bottom. The glitter is also on the bottom there. And you'll see all the different pieces that are still floating. They are making its way down to the bottom. So if you leave it for a while, it'll all settle back down. And if you add another Alka-Seltzer tab, it will start right back up again. So I just wanted to share that with you guys so you can take a look. And I also want to talk about how the lava lamp was first invented. Do you guys think that the person who invented this, do you think that they got it right on the first try? No. The person who invented this actually looked at an egg timer in a pub, and he noticed that bubbles in that egg timer were forming. So he was just sitting down in a restaurant one day and he noticed this, and then he thought, maybe I can make an invention with bubbles in it, just like the lava lamp. How long do you guys think it took him to perfect his invention? What about, do you think a day? A week? Well, it actually took him 15 years. 15 years to perfect the lava lamp. So, just like how Rosie Revere couldn't fly the first time, do you think that's okay? Yes, that's okay. It's not going to happen the first try. Some of these science experiments don't happen on our first try either, but we try and we try again. So that's what makes a great engineer. All right, let's sing and dance to our last song together. So you guys can stand up, grab your musical instruments, bells, drums, shakers. Let's get them ready and let's sing and dance together. All right, I'm gonna grab my bells. I have some colorful bells today, and here we go. Oh. All right, get ready. I hear it.
Skidamarink, dinky tick, skidamarink, do. I love you. Skidamarink, dinky tick, skidamarink, do. I love you. I love you in the morning and in the afternoon. I love you in the evening underneath the moon. Skidamarink, dinky tick, skidamarink, do.
We did it. Give yourselves a big round of applause. Thank you again for becoming scientists with me today, and make sure you look out for our next experiments, okay? Bye, everybody. Thank you again for watching. Bye, guys.